My bad, y'all. I stay doing that. Okay, y'all should be able to hear me now. All right. Got a triple with error at the meeting last night. He wanted to stay. No, I was adjusting some stuff. I like to have my lines like a certain thickness, or I like to get rid of some of the lines. But I do appreciate that. My bad, y'all. I forgot to add the mic because it's like with StreamYard, you can have yourself unmuted, but the sound won't play unless you add the mic to the stream. It's kind of weird, but we should be good now. So basically, what I was saying is I went over some of the trades we're currently in, and we're just looking at some of these pairs right now, waiting to see how they react off these daily levels. We caught a nice sell on NJ with the JPY pairs are retracing up currently. So we want to see how they react to the daily level, if they're going to treat them as a resistance level, and see if the drop's going to continue. Because as we can see here, GJ didn't do as harsh as a drop as NJ. NJ dropped nicely. AJ kind of did a nice drop as well. I had this marked off, and I picked the best handful of trades. Missed a couple of entries, but just picked the best couple trades to enter and call out for y'all on the events played still in the room last night. Um, yeah, so we're gonna be watching the JPY pairs to see if we can get some more entries. Whether there's gonna be buy or sells, it's gonna be one question. I do like how USDCHF's looking. I actually did the full move yesterday, so I want to see if we're gonna have a repeat of that today. Did a nice rejection. It's still underneath this level. I kind of like how it's looking, so we might go for a sell on this again, or actually execute on the sell this time. I do like how it's looking. Um, so basically, wait for the candles to show what they want to do based on previous daily levels. Kind of yes and no. It's kind of like that, but it's a little bit more complicated than that. I don't really like using that word complicated, but it becomes simple once you kind of understand the grand scheme of things. And it looks like this is trying to drop down, so we might enter this. I kind of like how this is looking. It's underneath this wall of price right here. It's arguably a nice retest and rejection of that level. So let me go ahead and send this disclaimer out before we get started, because I do kind of like how this is looking. So I might write this up. It's been a great week and great month so far, though. This would be like a small little sky, but I do kind of like how this is looking. That's over. It's not too small. New 500 to just start. So I'm about to put up my other screen just so I can pay attention to some of these other pairs. All right, so it's rejecting this level. So we're gonna wait to see. We're gonna jump in these on the next 15 if they continue to try to drop back down. But we're not gonna get too excited yet. But I do like how GJ is kind of looking so far. But again, we're not gonna get too excited yet. We're going to wait to see how this candlestick ends before we jump in on anything. Caught a nice buy on oil yesterday as well. Caught some nice buys. I think this week or the past couple of weeks. Did a retracement with the other USD pairs, and now it's back at this 4 hour level, what we call a buy on Tuesday. So we're going to see if we're going to do another repeat of that entry. Let's NJ. Let's NJ. So I'm going to put USDCH up on my other screen, because I want to look at some other pairs, but I don't want to miss this entry. But I'm just going to keep on retracing. We're going to let it retrace before we enter. So I'm just going to put this on my other screen. Bam. Looks like Euro New Zealand is still pumping up. So we're going to keep holding this if it keeps trying to climb up for the day. And this is just another example of, because I get questions all the time. Like, I remember one person was like, it's early, man. I don't know how you do it every day. And, one, I'm kind of a night owl, so I'm kind of used to it at this point. But two, a good example of why I trade during a London session into New York. Well, now I trade kind of when market opens again as well during Asian session. But let's just look at GBP CAD, right? While I'm watching while these pairs are doing their things. Yeah, so that's still trying to make its mind up. Yeah, so we're going to see what the next 15 looks like. Before I start going on my tangent, yeah, so this is rejecting that level. We're not going to get too excited yet and go for something. We're going to just wait and see how it reacts. So we're going to mark that off. So we're chilling still. I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss nothing. So USD CHF still retracing, so we're going to let that do its thing. Euro's going to just hit the top of the zone. So let me make sure I'm not missing nothing before I go on my tangent. Let me see what AU is looking like. All right, so this is pushing back up. So we're going to keep an eye on AU as well. So let me write this up just in case we do jump into this as well. Then I'll get back to what I was talking about. By the way, this is your first time clicking the stream. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and that bell. New videos dropping today. We don't just live stream every day, but I do drop videos weekly as well, either trade breakdowns, trading tip videos, trading psychology videos, or a mix of all the above. 665. 1 second. 665. Bam. So this is how we did yesterday. We went 5-0 yesterday. We're currently 9-0. New Zealand CAD, we caught 113 pips. Euro New Zealand, we caught 83 pips. UV CAD, we caught 190 pips. Euro CAD, we caught 78. And oil, we caught 125, leaving us a total of 589 pips. 274 of those pips were strictly for the members. But back to my tangent when I was talking about the reason why I don't just wait to New York, even for pairs that I mainly have the most volume in New York, is because, as we all know, when market reopens, most of the pairs, for the most part, except a little bit GBPJPY USCX, they're a little hour behind, an hour early with closing. And there might be a few other pairs, but those are the only pairs that I really trade that are the exception. But everything else, after that hour break of market and close, when market open, even the indices in gold, they're open for trading, they're moving. So just imagine, because this is the candlestick around like 3 o'clock, 3:30, whatever time we entered, we would have missed out on most of this move because price was like right here. It was either this candlestick or this candlestick when the news came on 8:30. So we would have missed like 90, 80 plus pips if we would have just waited for New York to enter this trade. And that happens a lot of times. Now, granted, there are some days where prices slow during New York and we don't enter trades, or sometimes we'll enter a trade and it won't really do its move until New York. But there are also days where the trade will begin its move well before New York. And I'd rather not miss out on all those pips and a greater risk to reward. So that's basically why I just go on the charts at that time, because a lot of times moves will happen before the market opens for that select pair. You get what I'm saying? So USD CHF, I'm looking at it on my other screen, and it is attempting, but it is 312. So we're just going to wait for the next 15 and see what that looks like, and then we're going to go from there. Give me 1 second. Yeah, well, we might jump in on this because I do like how it's looking. So the JPY pairs are pushing up still. NJ is kind of doing the same thing. So JPY pairs I want to really pay attention to are CJ, which is CHF JPY, and GBPJPY. Those are the ones closest to the daily levels. Now I could see a possible buy, but if we look at the grand scheme of things, things are still slightly bearish. We had a nice little buy setups that we caught on the way up. Now it's currently respecting this level as a support level, and it's pushing up. So we could possibly be seeing buys, but we're still going to wait before we jump the gun on those. Before we get too excited. Because it's still playing on the daily level. So we're going to see how it reacts to this wall here. Then we're going to wait for the next 15, and then we will base our decision off the next 15 to 30 minutes. So that's the plan. And we can mark this off right there. Yeah, they are pumping up right now. You see your JPY doing the same thing, similar structure, but kind of different days. It's been underneath this 4-hour level, and it's been respecting this daily level. We can see price has been respecting this as a support level. For the most part, it hasn't really broken the close underneath here. And it's still doing that right now. So we could potentially see some more buys happen, but we can't ignore that huge rejection that happened yesterday when the JPY pairs were pushing up. And as soon as they hit the respective either 4-hour daily levels. So we do have to keep that in mind. But again, we're just going to be patiently waiting and watching these pairs to see what they decide to do. I feel like I was looking at something else. Yeah, I was looking at oil. Oh yeah, that's what I was looking at. Alright, so this just broke this level. And the other USD pairs are pushing up. And by other USD pairs, I'm talking about like Euro USD and New Zealand USD. Right? What was it? I could have sworn it was another pair that was pumping up. Oh well, doesn't matter. But we want to see if price will continue to treat this as a support level like we currently see it. So we're about to keep an eye on this. USD CHF. Yeah, so we're going to have to jump in on a few trades here. It's just a little too. I'd like to see USD CHF retrace a little more. It might do the move, but I personally don't like the risk to reward. We're a little too late to the party again. So I'm going to keep an eye on that, but I just don't like the risk to reward, honestly. So I might just leave that alone. But I do see it dropping still. But I'm going to wait for retracement. Down entertainment. Hey, what's going on, Daniel? I see you. What's going on, Daniel? So we're going to let this retrace. We'll have to go back to the JPY pairs. Still seeing a green candlestick. This one's a red candlestick. Let me see what NJ's up to. So NJ retraced a good amount. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to let this ride out still. I'm going to see if it can. If it's going to continue to pump down. It looks like it's retracing up a little bit. What else was I looking at? I was looking at pairs. Alright. Things are doing slight retracements right now. Yeah, so we're watching these still. This is kind of moving kind of how MJ is moving. But I'm still being patient waiting on GJ and CJ because I do want to kind of enter these if I don't miss the opportunity and the entry on them. New Zealand pairs look like they're still trying to pump up. Let me go back to this. Yeah, so we're going to let this retest this level, which is fine with me. Go back to oil. Oil's pushing back up as well. So we're going to see, we're going to do a repeat of this right here. Yeah, so there's a few pairs we're looking at. We're going to be looking at oil. We're going to be looking at GJ and CJ. We're going to be looking at AU. And then I'm still going to be holding and managing these trades that me and the members are currently in, which is EN and NJ. So far, they're still going in our favor. JPY pairs did do a slight retracement. But those are the main pairs that they're going to be looking at for this stream and going into London, at least for now. That's still pushing up. The AD pairs are doing a retracement. Canadian pairs, can't really do much with those right now. So it's going to be holding the trades we're in, holding the entries. Not really going to go for re-entry yet until it breaks above this daily level. So it's going to be letting those do their thing. Let's see what AD CAD up to. It's going to take a drop compared to EuroCAD and GBPJPY. This thing dropped down, and it's still dropping down. Could go. We'll see if we can do a decent entry. We could possibly go for that. That's an option. Yeah, so right now, I have a few trades that I like best. So I'm just going to be waiting for those setups, and then I'm going to jump in those. We're already in some trades, and there's no point in jumping into anything and everything. You want to look for the best setups, highest quality, cleanest looking setups with the highest probability of going your way. Then you just want to patiently wait for those setups to come to you and then execute. That's all you got to do. And that's all we're about to do. So we're just patiently waiting right now. So we're paying attention to CJ, GJ, then we're paying attention to AU, and then going to be managing the trades we're currently in so far. So Euro New Zealand is still pumping. NJ is dropping back down. So I'm waiting to see if GJ is going to drop back down as well as CJ. Get rid of this because we didn't even enter. Yeah, so that's what we're waiting on right now. Pay attention to oil too. Could go for a possible buy on this. And it's pumping up. So we're going to see how this candlestick fares to this zone right here and go from there. Yeah, these are dropping nice. Yeah. All right, so we're still patiently waiting. GJ and CJ are still dancing on the daily levels. Same thing as AU. We do see a slight rejection wick though, so we might be jumping in this soon. Give me 1 second. USD CHF is retracing. But I want to see if we're going to retrace more. I personally like the risk to reward. AU looks like it's trying to push back up, so we might jump in this in a second. So let me go ahead and write this up, just in case we do decide to jump in on this. Still patiently waiting though. It's just at a sweet spot right now because it's done a retracement on the bigger time frames, but it is on the support level. So I don't know if it's going to do it all day, but at least as of right now, it is respecting that level. But it could try to drop down later on in New York. That's definitely a possibility. Definitely a possibility. So we're just going to wait and see how price reacts to this right here. Yes, so GJ and CJ is dropping back down. Yeah, so we're gonna wait for the next 15. I want to see. I'm not gonna enter till price either breaks and retest above either this level or below this level. But until that, I'm not messing with them. I'm just gonna keep watching and observing. These would have been nice drops right there. Yeah, what's going on? Successful. What's going on? All right, so while that's doing that, let's go ahead and look at these. Let me put this on my other screen to make sure I don't miss anything. Give me 1 second. But we're about to look at the indices as well. Yeah, so it's doing a nice rejection. It's about to turn green on us, which is nice. So we might jump in on that in a second. Leaning towards the JPY pairs more, but I do like how AU is looking as well. So I'm going to switch back and forth on those. US30 is looking like a nice potential sell as well. It just did a retracement retest. It's trying to drop back down. Let me get rid of some of these lines so it's not as confusing. But after the news, during the news, it was doing a pump up. Well, it did kind of like a spike. Then after the news, or like an hour or so later, price dropped down. And I went over this with one of my members and students in the one-on-one session. And this is what I didn't want to see happen. I wanted to see the uptrend continue because I'll just make things easier. But since price did drop down here and is underneath this level, we couldn't look for sales, but there is a huge level of traffic. So it's either going to continue to drop down here, or we could see retracement to either this daily level or this 4-hour level. But for now, I do kind of like how this is looking. So we might look for a sell. That's how price is looking right now. But the only thing is this huge level of traffic and this order block right here. So we could struggle to go the full move today. Doesn't mean it's impossible though. So let me see. JPY pairs are still dropping down some. It's doing a nice retest. It's really been dropping since yesterday. I do kind of like how this is looking. NAS, on the other hand, still pushing up. Yeah, so this week they have been kind of moving differently as well. I've been noticing SPX has been moving a little more smoothly than US30 this week. They kind of still move the same direction and stuff like that, but they've definitely been not moving completely in sync like most weeks. But that happens. I'm not trading too much about that. That's just an observation I made. Because we see NAS and SPX are trying to push up. The US30 is dropping down. So I do like how US30 is looking. So I'm going to keep an eye on this. Trade 30 USDX. I might have to redo my levels. I might redo my levels tonight, to be honest. Because I didn't redo them this week. And I told myself I was going to start redoing them every week. Alright, yeah, so we're still going to be just patiently waiting on these right here. AU still chilling. So we're going to see what this next 15 looks like. But yeah, as of now, these are the few pairs we're looking at. And we're just going to be patiently waiting until confirmations are met. And it decides what side of the coin it wants to stay on. What side of the zone it wants to stay on. Does it want to treat it support level or resistance level? That's what we're waiting on right now. Okay, Lucky. Zoom JPY thoughts. I got you. So you're in this too, because you're a member. So you're in this trade as well. So looking at Zoom JPY, it almost hit the bottom of the zone. It's doing a slight retracement, which is not abnormal. It's pretty normal, especially when 3 o'clock comes around the corner. It's currently underneath this level here. So right now I'm just watching to see if it's going to continue to drop down, if not for at least London session for the day. So I'm still holding this trade right now. I'm going to see if it's going to continue to drop down. But that's really it for me, Zinjip. I mean, all TPs got hit, so everything else is just bonus money. It's kind of right back at the final TP. So it's up to you if you want to keep holding it closed. I'm never going to tell anybody to keep holding the trade, especially when all TPs got hit, and especially when we're deep in profits. So it's up to you what you want to do. But that's what I'm personally doing, and this is why I personally see for the JPY. But yeah, I'm never going to tell someone to keep holding and stuff like that, because it's not my money, it's y'all's money. Yeah, so we're just going to be waiting on these right here. New 15 about to pop up in about 30 seconds. But the unit numbers are nice and blue on these two trades currently. I want to jump in at least one or two more before the string's over, but I'm not going to force anything. Let's see if the indices got back on track. New 15. Let me see what these are looking like. Okay. So we're kind of getting back in sync. So I like how US30 and NAS are looking. So I'm about to pull those up on my other screen. Let me see if this retrace. No, it didn't retrace. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to continue to dump. I just try to stay out of it. Again, that's kind of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, I kind of missed the entry instead of just jumping in on your way for a retest. This time, literally missed it like a couple hours because, I got to sleep, Took a quick 2 hour nap. Got to sleep. And, you're going to miss opportunities. That's just trading. Like, you're trying to get into every opportunity. That's silly thinking because it's not realistic. If the charts move, we're going to miss opportunity. And we miss opportunities all the time, on stream, off stream, but we still always find opportunities to jump in on. So New Zealand JPY is still dumping down. We're going to see if we can, kind of like how this is looking too. New Zealand CAD is kind of dropping as well. Hey, no problem, Lucky. Now I'm contemplating if I want to go for those Canadian sales. That's what I'm contemplating. They look like good setups. Nothing bad about them. They look like good setups. I'm just kind of picky. Not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of picky in my entries. That's also why I do this, and also why I do the chart analysis for the members. The chart analysis I drop before New York session every day, every morning. That way, if y'all see some setups, I can jump in on them because 9 times out of 10, the trades that go over, they end up going the direction on my analysis predicted it was going to go. I just decided whether or not to either enter something else or I was good off entering trades for the day. That's just literally how it goes. Because like I said, my goal isn't to jump into every trade. It's just to find the ones with the cleanest looking setups and the highest probability going our way, and then jump in on those. I do like how these Canadian pairs are looking. Not gonna lie to y'all. Let's see how they use. Not AJ. How they use looking. Wait for this to refresh. Yes, maybe that one. Yes, I'm just waiting on GJ. It did drop back underneath, but if we zoom in, you can clearly see it's reacting to this wall here. So I'm just going to be patiently waiting for it to break underneath that wall. CJ still got some work to do, but I believe it's going to go the same direction as GJ. And yeah, US30 and NAS are kind of tempting me. So I'm about to write these up. We may or may not enter these in a second. Only thing is, like I said, the location the price is currently at, I don't know if it's going to do the full move, which is why there's major and minor TPs anyways. But give me a second. But I do like how it is looking. We'll be a little late to the party. Yeah, I kind of want to jump in on it, not gonna lie. I could retrace and fill up, because it has done a nice drop so far. Let me look to the left. There are some levels of traffic. Just respecting that level. Yeah, I like how these are looking, not gonna lie. I like how these are looking. Yeah, so I'm gonna write these up. I do like how these are looking. Yeah, like I said, it might not be the full move, but I can see us catching some pips. I kind of want to wait for the price to retrace and either hit this low or this low and go for a sell. But I can see it potentially keep dropping. GJ and CJ still playing around. CJ trying to drop down low. NJ tanking again. New Zealand just broke above the zone. So we're going to see if we can possibly go for another entry. Because again, we caught the entire daily candlestick. You can't see it right here, but let me widen this out a little bit. Maybe it'll pop up. Yeah, but we entered right here. We literally entered like an hour or two after market reopened. So we literally have caught this entire daily candlestick so far. And it's still pushing up. So we might or may not go for another entry. I may or may not post another entry. Want to wait to see how it reacts to this right here. But this pair is still pumping up. So we're currently at a 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 ish reward on that pair. NJ's dropping as well. Let me see. This is dropping, pumping up. So yeah, there's some pairs we might be entering in a second. Well, not in a second, but the next few candlesticks. USD dropping down. EK dropping down. Yeah, I like how these are looking. Yeah, we're gonna jump in on these right here. Kind of like how these are looking. Did a retest and it's dropping. Yeah, we might jump in on these. These are definitely tempting me. The US30 is trying to move. I kind of like how these are looking. That's let's mark this up. I want to see how it actually is wall first. Looks like it's trying to break it. Yeah, those are tempting for me to enter, not gonna lie. And then if it wasn't as messy looking on the daily time frame, I wouldn't be as hesitant. But I prefer to day trade. I don't want to just enter a trade if we're just gonna hit like one or two TPs. Because that's the risk to reward. That's not a good risk to reward. You get what I'm saying? But I do kind of like how NAS is looking. US30 is a little bit messier. US30 is still looking like a clean setup as well. I do kind of like how NAS looks a little bit cleaner. Yeah, we might jump in on NAS. I kind of like how NAS is looking. US30 might do the same move, but NAS is looking a lot cleaner. Yeah, so I'm gonna write that up. So we're gonna look and see what the next 15 looks like on NAS. So I do like how that's looking. We're also going to see what the next 15 looks like for Euro New Zealand. I want to wait for a retest before we jump in on this. This is a good risk to reward. So there are a few pairs that we can jump in on soon, depending on what they decide to do. GJ and CJ are still playing at the daily level, so we're still just going to wait for those. But NJ is still trying to break through that level, so we're going to keep letting that do its thing. Yeah, so I do like how NAS and US30 are looking. So depending on what the candlestick looks like the next 15, we might jump in on that. Still watching AD CAD. It's doing a retest right now. But we might jump in on this as well. Yeah, so it's chilling at this wall. So I wanted to see if it was going to break through this wall or reject that wall. But it's kind of just been at a halt. It's attempting to break that wall, but it hasn't yet. So that's why I waited. Just another confirmation. But yeah, we're going to see what this next 15 looks like and go from there. Same thing with AD CAD. Hit this level here, rejected. So we're going to see what the next 15 looks like and possibly jump in on that. AD USD did a nice retest. So I like how this is looking as well. So there's a few pairs we might jump in on this next 15. So we got about 2 minutes left. So yeah, there's a few pairs that we might jump in on this next 15. Yeah, so we're trying to break that level. Yeah, so I like how these are looking. So we're jumping in on these next 15. USD CHF. Wait, hold on. Rather that I caught just now while on live with you, man. Check NJ. Yeah, I don't know if you. Wait, what time did you say that? Yeah, I probably just went. I probably went over NJ when he said that. But yeah, it's still dropping now. It's kind of like last time, as we can see. So I want to see if we can break this low right there. But you're talking about USD CHF. I got you. Like I said, I can't see it dropping, but I want to see it come up a little bit higher so I can get a better risk reward, because what my stop loss is, if I enter right here, it's not even a 1-to-1. But let's just say it's a 1-to-1 to be fair. I still don't want to go for that. I want to go for at least a 1-to-2 minimum, 1-to-3 risk reward. That way, if all the TPs don't get hit, I'm at least making what I'm risking at the bare minimum. But if all TPs get hit, like Euro CAD yesterday or GBP CAD yesterday, or in the trade from last night or today, I mean the members are in this one. So when all the TPs get hit, you're making double or triple what you're risking, right? So that's why I'm leaving that alone. I can see it pushing down and repeating what it did here. And I can't see it dropping from right here. But I personally don't like the risk reward, so I am staying out of it. But I do see the bearish momentum continuing, especially when you look at the bigger time frames. Now, note it did do a rejection wick, so it could try to do a retest of this level here, and there is a huge level of traffic here. But looking at the bigger picture and what we've mainly been calling the past few months is sells, because as you can see, price is extremely bearish, and you can also see the daily candlestick started right at this level, which isn't a coincidence. So again, I am looking at sales, but I want to see retrace more because I don't like the risk to reward. So new 15 did just start. So we're about to see there's up to, so 80 CAD is retracing back up as we speak. Give me 1 second. So I'm pulling up my other screen. Okay, I caught up on comments. Cool. So NAS is doing a retest of that wall as well. These pairs are still chilling. CJ did drop underneath. NJ is trying to break that level there. So we're nice and blue still on NJ. EJ, waiting for a retest before we jump in on this. Will it give us that? Maybe. But we're also kind of on a tight spot on the daily level and the 4 hour. We do have these huge levels of traffic. We could break them. We also could see retracement. That's the only thing. It's kind of ugly. It's kind of an ugly spot we're in. So yeah, I'd rather wait a few candlesticks before posting another buy, even though we did break above the zone and we did break above that wall that I wanted to see get broken. I'm still gonna wait a little bit, but let's go to NAS. Like I said, I was gonna wait for the next 15 because I saw prices at this wall here, and sure enough, look here, prices retracing. So if we would have entered, we'd be in drawdown right now. Now it looks like it is trying to reject that level and push down, but again, we'll be able to have a better risk reward and secure more pips because of that slight retracement. And out of curiosity, I want to see if US30 did the same thing. No, US30 is still trying to drop. So these are very tempting to enter. But really quick, I just want to see what AU's up to. I got NAS on my other screen. AU's kind of chilling here, had a nice rejection with the last 15. NJ is still trying to break that level. GJ and CJ kind of being a mirror of each other. Still dancing on this level. It's been dancing on this level for the past hour. So still not going to mess with those yet. Still going to just patiently wait until it makes its mind up. GA is right there. Yeah, so I think it's still pumping up. So, like I said, I'm going to wait for a retest because a second entry is cool and all, but I'm still holding the original entry for this, so I'm not tripping too much. But the second entry, I think stop loss I'd be looking at. Could put it tighter. I think where I got it's fine, to be honest. So I'm looking at a 68.70. So I'm going to round this down. 68.70. That's what I'm looking at for a second entry. But I'm still holding this original first entry, so I'm not tripping too much. If it does a retest and shows them to continue to pump up, then I'll add a second entry. But as of now, this is still just strictly members only trade for the original entry entered last night. And this is another example why you don't have to always wait till New York. I know some people just like to trade strictly in New York, but like I tell my members and students all the time, if the markets are open, there are opportunities. And if we wouldn't have entered that trade, we'd probably be trying to enter right here, and we wouldn't even be up as many pips as we are currently. NJ's still dropping, so I'd like to see GJ and CJ follow suit, but they're kind of doing their own thing. NAS just turned back red on us, so yeah, we might be yeah, I like how NAS is looking. I like how NAS is looking. So we're going to jump into NAS. I just put this in the free Telegram, free signal room, first link in the description. So if you're watching the stream for the first time, click that first link. But yeah, we're about to see what this do. But it's dropping as we speak. It's doing a nice drop right now. But I type the TP's up right now. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I might post US32, but this one has the cleaner entry. So I went quiet. That's what I'm typing these TPs up. So just bear with me for a second. Bam. All right. So we already hit TP1. So I'm about to mark off TP2. Like I said, the TPs are in the free signal room. But I might need to adjust these. Yeah, so let me adjust this. Hold on. Yes, I just adjusted this. There we go. So TP1 did just get hit though. We could enter US30 too, but it is all good. Not tripping. We're in plenty of trades right now. Plenty of trades right now. It still hasn't broken this level, which is fine. See what oil is up to. Oil is dropping down. Yeah, so we could enter US30 as well. That thing's dropping nicely as well. But we're in NAS, so we're gonna work with what we got right now. Could call that trade as well though. Trade 30 and them are following suit. So there might be opportunities for some other trades to get entered as well. USDX. So we see everything's dropping right now. I might adjust the TPs because this is a little bit choppier than usual. So let me fix these TPs up. $90, $70. Let's see. This might be fine. Yeah, so we're gonna do this. 50. Yeah, we're gonna do that. Yeah, I think we're gonna do that. So y'all should be nice and blue on this. Make sure to hit that like button, y'all. Y'all should be nice and blue on that trade. Yeah, I'm personally gonna wait for a retest. And that's just because I'm deep in profit. But if y'all see what I see, I'm not gonna tell y'all to do nothing. I did y'all my analysis. Like I said, I only notify when I enter trades. But as you can see, it's still going with its analysis so far. But yeah, this trade right here is currently 1 to 3, pushing nicely. MJ's dumping, so I want to see GJ and CJ dump. But I'm still patiently waiting on that. I'm not going to jump the gun on those. Still just going to patiently wait. But that is what I want to see. Out of curiosity, because I do tend to get sidetracked. Let me see what these pairs are up to. All right, cool. So it's good we didn't enter those yet. Now, granted, they could end up going in the direction I projected, but it's fine. This, I do see a wick on here, so it's retracing, which is good because that's what I wanted to see happen. I want to see at least retrace up to here. So I must mark this wall off as well. I want to see at least retrace up to, at least up to, we're about to hit the next TP, y'all. We're a few pips away. But this is why you just want to patiently wait, because it's going to do one or two things. It's either going to retrace to where you wanted it to go to, and then you're going to beat yourself up because you're in a drawdown and it ended up going where you wanted to go, or it's going to keep moving, or it's going to keep dumping the way it's going. And in that case, that's fine. Just wait for the next possible place to enter. Is that simple? A lot of people get stuck up on a trade and, they feel pressure to enter a trade or this, that, and the third. I don't feel any of that pressure anymore. I used to, but I don't feel any pressure anymore. After losing a bunch of trades, blowing accounts over leveraging, chasing trades, you get to a certain point where you're just like, look, I'm just gonna wait, and patience pays off. Just gotta wait. Cause I can't be the only one that got impatient and entered a trade just for it to either that same candlestick or the next candlestick retrace right back to where you wanted to enter at originally. So now I just patiently just wait. And then plus the strategy kind of helps me identify the levels. So that kind of helps as well. But yeah, we're about to see if we can jump in on some of these right here. Could with the stop loss a little tighter. I kind of like with this right here. I kind of like the stop loss right here. I want to put it like a little bit above that. But it looks like the JPY pairs are following suit. We just hit the bottom of the zone on NJ. I forgot to adjust the TPs. The TPs are adjusted now for NAS. Let me go ahead and let the members know that NJ just at the bottom of the zone. So yeah, if y'all don't want to miss out any trades, click that second link in the description. All right, I have advanced play signal room. Also do one-on-one mentorships if you're curious on either just having my help personally with your trading plan or trading strategy or learning this in general. You get 2 one-on-one sessions a week. They're all an hour long, and they're all recorded and sent to you same day after the session's over. And the sessions are based on your time. I'll literally ask you, I'll tell you, look, I have these days available. I have these spots open, these times available. What time works best for you? You set that up. You get to it. I send you a link for the Zoom. We go on Zoom, have my charts up, have your mics on. You get straight to it. Also, just dropped the course where I teach you this entire strategy, how to market the charts, how to enter trades, how to manage trades, how to trade news. I also go over my buy limit and sell limit strategy. The members, some of the new members might, but the members that have been here at least since last month, I showed y'all some of the results from my buy limit and sell limit strategy. Literally, it's just, the strategy is kind of like this strategy. It's like in the high 90s. I never did the exact math, but it's in the high 90s. I really lose with that strategy. The only time I'll lose with that strategy is if the buy sellings are against the trend, and a few other things. But I go over how to exactly do it, what to look for, the signs and stuff like that. Also, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff in there. Kind of a lot too much to talk about. But I have a what you call it, a poster. I posted it in the free signal room yesterday with all the details. And of course, if you want to ask any more details or questions about it, you can contact me directly at playmaker_way on Instagram. Same spelling as the YouTube. And make sure to follow me on TikTok too, y'all. I'm almost at 400 followers. There's like 700 y'all in the free signal room. Make sure to follow me on both Instagram and TikTok. Instagram so you can contact me directly, and because some stuff I can't post on TikTok. So stuff I can't post, like trade results and stuff like that, I post on Instagram. TikTok, I just post like trading tip videos and recaps of big trades and trading weeks and stuff like that. But once I hit 1,000 subs, I do plan to be going live on TikTok as well. Before we hop off, let me see. Just out of curiosity. So yeah, this looks like it's still kind of valid. Zoom, this is pumping back up as well. Yeah, so this is just pumping. So I could have called this out, but I'm not tripping too much because we're still in this trade. Yes, we might be entering GJ and CJ. One of these might be members only. One of these will be in the free Telegram. I'm still watching them, but we might be jumping in these in a second. So don't be too surprised if you get another signal. Let's go to NAS, bro. We barely missed the next TP2. So doing a retest, I'm not too worried about that. I should still be nice and profit. Going to be paying attention to ESX and US30 as well. They're back on the daily levels. Going to keep an eye on oil. That's literally it. That's literally it. I think we're just going to be looking at the JPY pairs. We're doing a slight retest. So we're not entering on this candlestick or the next candlestick. Okay, I'm caught comments. All right. Yeah, so I might go ahead and hop off. I might start doing longer streams next week. We'll see. But I got a lot of stuff to do. Like I got a lot of videos to edit and stuff like that for the social media pages. And then I gotta finish editing the video I'm dropping today and the video I'm dropping this weekend or tomorrow, one of the two. But yeah, we're gonna let this do a retest, and if it can stay underneath this level, we're gonna be jumping in on sales for GJ and possibly CJ as well. 80 cats still looking like a sell, so I might call this out too because I kind of like how this is looking too. Not gonna lie, maybe it's dropping down. Yes, I kind of like how 80 cats looking. Not gonna lie. I might call that one out. I'm gonna wait to see how it reacts to this level. It's still kind of chilling, so I might wait for the next 15 as well, or at least the next 5 minutes. Yeah, so that's it, y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in tomorrow's stream. Those just hopping in, I did just call out NAS. We're kind of chilling at TP1 still, so I put the entries in the free sitting room. All right, so at the bottom, I put the entries there. We hit TP1 so far. Then me and the members were currently deep in profit on Euro New Zealand and New Zealand JPY. But I'm about to hop off, so make sure to click that first link in the description. Join the free sitting room, free Telegram, and I'll see y'all in tomorrow's live stream.